You're listening to Lyfe and Shyt. I'm Daneyel Walker.
And I'm Tommy Walker.
Join us as we talk about our journey overcoming fears, boundaries, marriage, family, lifestyle, business, and whatever other shit you can think of.
We're individuals that came together to create one unit with one mind and one goal.
Hey, baby.
What's up, girl?
What's going on?
I'm outstanding.
Outstanding, huh?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Stressed
You
to
had
the
a long
limit.
day.
Stressed to the limit. Not stressed, but stretched.
Stretched.
Different, right?
Yeah, he was running today.
stretched. Yeah. Yeah. Running from the desk, too, right? Like,
Running inside the office.
I got a question for you.
Hit me.
Do we know how to throw some kick-ass parties or what?
Yes, we do. You paused like because you switched the question on me.
No.
Oh.
Well, that was a question. I didn't know. I couldn't recall if we made it a different question or if it was
okay.
the same question.
Okay,
Or if
okay.
I want to say it like, do we throw some kick-ass parties? Or do I want to say like, do we throw some kick-ass parties or what? So,
Oh, you want your delivery?
yeah, like
we do throw
should the
kick-ass
question
parties.
be here? Or should it be there?
I was about to say, oh damn, you really stretched. I know it was that day, but today was compliance day, and we usually record the show after work, right? Mm-hmm. So you was at work all day in the office. I was working from home all day, so my day wasn't as stretched because I have nobody else around me.
That's a good day.
So totally understand how you feel. But yes, we do throw kick-ass parties. I'm actually looking at some of the old flyers that we had from the Walk With Me entertainment days. And then even like, so, you know, that's the events that we used to throw, and then throwing parties at the house, birthday parties. Like, our parties are pretty off the chain.
Yeah, we've had some really good ones. We've been to some good ones, and we've thrown some really, really good ones, from the small ones that we've thrown for like each other, say birthday parties or surprise parties or just a party, to the ones that we've thrown for other people, which would be the Walk With Me days, right? When we had the entertainment company and we threw some pretty big, like, kick-ass parties. Before we get into the logistics of like the parties that we actually threw, I would like to talk about like the beginning of throwing a party, or what it takes to even throw a kick-ass party, right?
Yeah, because we've been to some whack-ass parties too. Like, don't throw a whack-ass party. And if you ask me what's a whack-ass party,
I was going to say, without giving up too much details so that people aren't offended.
yeah, no, it's you know when you had a whack-ass party.
No, because I think we've been to parties that people have been like, oh, this was an awesome party. And we're like, no, it was whack. And then to what measure are we holding these parties, right?
All right, so if you don't have any music,
Okay.
right? If your food is terrible,
But if you don't think your food's terrible.
no, you know your food's terrible. So no music, your food's terrible, and I think those are the really big things, right? Like to really narrow it down to the first part, because once you discuss what it takes, then if you're not doing all of those things, then it's like, oh shit, I'm not even throwing a party, I'm throwing a kickback.
Yeah. So let's get into that. So first is the first impressions, right? Mm-hmm. So to me, I'm all about the first impressions, especially when it's throwing a party. So that's whatever you see when you first walk in, you're like, oh shit, it's going down. They got this and that, right? So I'm huge. I know, like, I want it to be beautiful. Like, I want people to walk in and say, like, okay,
as soon as you walk through the door, it's like the wow factor.
Yep. Yeah. That's the first impression. Some huge first impressions we've had is a Halloween party. We had hay and a whole like a photo op when you walked into the door.
Yep.
Took us fucking ever to get rid of that hay. It was hay in our house. Never put hay in your house. Ever. It was 3 bundles of hay in our house.
Inside the house.
Inside the house.
Put the hay outside in the backyard.
Even then, it's a mess. We had hay outside too, right? We had hay inside. We had bundles outside. We thought it was cute at the time. It was horrible. It was nice. It was a huge wow factor. Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. It was. The first impression was there, right? But nah, man.
The first impression always comes up with a cleanup afterwards.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, when you first come in, because with that Halloween party, the outside was decorated. Mm-hmm. Like when you walked up, it was like, oh shit, we walked into a real like haunted house kind of a deal. So you started outside the house before you even walked in,
right?
And then when you walked in, it was the oh shit.
Yes.
it keeps getting better.
Yes, yes. And we had a hangover party for Miles Aaron. He was leaving, and it was like a going away.
Shout out to Miles Aaron.
Hangover. And we did a mattress on the roof with a blow-up man kind of hanging off of it. So as soon as you walk up, you see that, and it's like, oh, shit. What did they do?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. As soon as you walked up to the house, there was one of the kids' mattresses. We took the kids' mattress, put it on the roof, and the blow-up doll
was from the Halloween party.
Was
but
from
the
the
Halloween
Halloween
party
party.
had been from years ago.
Which was dressed in one of my outfits.
Yep.
Yeah.
For both parties, for the Halloween party and for that. For the Halloween party, he was it was just like a black blow up doll that you just dressed, put a hat on or whatever. It was in the cemetery, and then for the hangover party, it was hanging over the off the roof.
Yeah. So you definitely nailed the first impressions. So if you're doing a party, you're doing an event, then first impression when you first walk in, it's like oh shit, what am I what am I about to get into? Right. What is it all about? What's the because it's themed too, right? So you always go with the theme, and you make the theme like it really pops.
Yeah, and you don't have to go with the theme by all means, but for me, it's just fun when it's a theme. It's like, okay, as soon as I get a theme in my head, I'm like, all right. Like for my auntie Renee's birthday party, we did the casino theme, so it was easy. Like, oh, I want big dice, or oh, I want the cake to look like this. So then it just makes my mind go a little bit different, as far as what to have. Another thing that I like for first impressions is drinks, Shyt.
Gotta have shots when you walk in. Gotta knock that.
A shot.
It's just something that knocks the chill off.
Yeah,
it's like, because especially if you like, oh, I've never been to this person's house. If you're doing it at your house, I've never been in this person's house before. I don't know what to expect. I don't know who's gonna be there. Yeah, so you take that first shot. It's like, oh shit. Yeah, you knock that edge right off.
Yep. And ladies and gentlemen, people will say, oh, I don't take shots, or oh, this or that. But believe me, once they walk in and they're like, oh, they feel like, oh, I have to take a shot, so I'm gonna take a shot, and they take it. It's kind of like, oh, like this is what the guest wants me to do. So, and they most likely came to party. And the way that you do that is just to have a little simple tray, and you have the little disposable shot glasses and a big bottle of Fireball in the freezers. Keep it in the freezer, keep the shots poured, and you're good to go.
The big bottle of Fireball.
Everybody drinks Fireball. It's like taking a shot of candy, you know?
Yeah, true that, especially when it's cold. Now, themes are everything. Like, themes are a very important part, because it makes things a little easier as far as throwing a party, and people get excited about themes. Like, I don't care if it's a 80s theme, 90s theme. I mean, when we was coming up, everything was 70s theme. Now to see
it's
90s
like 20s.
and 80s. Yeah,
it's like the 20s now. But for some reason,
20s?
everybody's going back into the roaring 20s. We were invited to like 3 parties.
Oh, no. Well, that still goes back to the 20s, though. Like, it's not. I'm thinking you was talking about like 2000 kind of.
Oh, no.
I was like, what? No, I haven't even put no work in yet.
I don't even know what it is, right?
Yeah. So if you got a cool theme, you know what I mean? And I mean, we've seen all kinds of themes from, not your regular Halloween joints, not your regular decade joints. And then you have your Star Wars and like my birthday party, my 30th was, if you was ever into Spartacus, that was on back in the days. I think it was on Cinemax or Stars, one of those joints. Yep, and Spartacus was our theme for my 30th birthday, and that was off the chain.
Yeah. It's like I got the cake. I wanted all the girls that were working with us at the party or for us at the party, all dressed in that Greek kind of a theme.
They had the little toga.
Yeah, definitely. Theme and decoration, I guess, go kind of hand in hand, right? Because if you have a theme, then you can decorate the way that you want per however the theme is. So it's like, okay, the decorations are on point, then it is. And decorations is one of those things that I'm not gonna lie, out of all the parties that we've ever done, I hate decorations now.
Me too.
I hate them.
I've always did.
I know you have, because I mean, literally, I'll spend a ton of money on decorations. It's all gorgeous, it's all beautiful, and then I have to take it down the next day. Like that's just a takedown. I'm like, oh. I had to order. I mean, first I had to pick the theme. Then I had to look and find the right thing, the perfect thing, right? And then you order it. Then they deliver it. Then you have to set the shit up, and then you take it down.
Yep, just like that. So you're on to something with the first impressions, and like we're giving you the blueprint of throwing some dope ass parties, right? Now imagine if there was a business out there that actually bought all of this shit, and then you was like, all right, so all of the decorations we've ever took down, and we talk about over 17 years of decorations. So if you just stored those and you was like, all right, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna create a little party promotion joint like at your house, right? That would be pretty dope.
Yeah,
we should have ran with that shit.
Could have.
Damn, we should have ran with that.
I mean, we've done an Asian theme, we've done casino theme, we did the Olympics theme. That to me, that was one of the best parties as well. The Olympic theme is Tommy and I were renewing our vows. We didn't want to do a full-on fledged bachelorette party, so we ended up doing a co-party.
Because technically we're not.
But we could have. We did a whole wedding, so we could have did a whole bachelorette party. But instead, we did a co-party, which was super cool. The guys wore Tommy's favorite color, blue. The girls wore my favorite color, green. And it was a full-out, like, Olympic showdown, but a grown-up style, right?
So do you have props on your list?
I have decorations. Yep.
Okay, because I think with the Olympic joint, like the props that you created for that was the point, the part of the party that was just like, damn, this shit's pretty dope. Like, not only did you have the Olympic type stuff that we had to run around the house because we used the entire house, but the trophy was made of beer.
Yeah.
And I mean, not like, oh, here's a beer. It was stacked up. You glued it together, and then you sprayed it gold. So then it was heavy like a real trophy.
Because it was real beer.
Yeah, like it wasn't empty cans. No. So it was full cans of beer stacked up. They had to have been about 3 feet tall. So it was like a 3 foot tall trophy. Spray painted gold, like that was off the chain.
Yeah.
Like, that was a great job.
Thank you.
And when we won, because for the record, we won. The guys won. It was Olympic. It was
all my planning.
It was males versus females. and I mean, they got that trophy, and of course, they start cracking the beers, right?
Yeah, that was hilarious. But it took a lot of planning for that party, just to kind of getting the games together. Then once you get all the games, you have to get all the props for the games, right? Because we had like pudding. And I had to buy pudding for us to do Pictionary with pudding and lollipops, and it was just like a plethora of ideas that came into my head. And I was like, all right, so how do I make this happen? And so that was a great party. One of the other things, so first impressions, and we kind of talked about impressions, period, right? Like just the first impression, and then also like when you're there, the decorations. But location is everything as well, right? If people have to go somewhere, like that's kind of a wow factor too, right? Yeah.
That's one of the things when in throwing all of our parties, when we was the entertainment company, we had the club, right? So the club, and we were downtown, and it was like that was where it was at. When we threw parties on the outskirts in the middle of some neighborhood somewhere, or we did something, those was the ones that were like, oh shit, like nobody, I ain't say nobody showed, but it wasn't as good as where the location was downtown. So you're absolutely correct, and even at our house, like all the parties at our house were legit off the chain.
Yeah, some of the locations we threw parties at was, Queen Bee, Red Circle, Sway Nightclub. Those are all some of the locations that we kind of got down on.
So far, out of all the ones you named, only Queen Bee is still open.
Legends, that's gone as well. That's where we first started. So yeah. So but, hey, those were back in the days, and then we're downtown except for Queen Bee and Legends.
So our house is definitely one of the best joints.
For Tommy's 30th, we rented a house in. It was in
Ocean Beach.
Yep. Yeah, and that was awesome. That was really cool.
Yeah, so renting a house, now, you can't even really rent houses like that anymore unless, it's at scale, right? Because even for my 40th birthday, we tried renting a house, and all the fine print said no parties. So back in the days, it was nice to throw parties, and that's why we did the party at our house. But if you could find a dope house to throw a party, then oh man, that's where it's at. Like even our son, this dude, he comes to us. Oof. And he's like, hey, I want to throw a party for my 18th birthday. We like, all right, cool, no problem. You got to have a few friends. I'm thinking this kid don't know nobody. He only got a few, like maybe 6 friends total. Maybe 12 people show up. This kid
12 people.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was only gonna be 12 people to show up. No, this kid had like 400 people come through.
Hell, he asked us like 5 times. Do we have enough security? Do you think we should get more security?
Yeah.
Do we have enough? I'm like, he's asking us for a reason. You're like, we'll be fine. And it was just the 2 of us.
That was it.
God,
yeah.
People, when I tell y'all.
I was security all night. 400 people. 400. We turned it. I was scared for my bathroom. I was terrified for my bathroom.
I mean, I was all in people. Like, nope, you move. You really doing this? You really doing that? Like,
you was super mom.
Yeah, I was. So I wasn't super mom. I was super person that take care of my damn house. But they was like, moms is not playing. I'm
exactly.
like, sure ain't. You call me what you want, but
nah, this kid put 400 people in our house, something that we've never done. And I was like, yo, this is the first and last time you will ever throw a party here, sir.
Yeah, I will never forget when you're like, we're at capacity. They got to go. Like, no more people. No more people.
I wish you would have had a picture of my face when I said we was at capacity, because I already knew. I was like, what the hell? Like, we should be at the club. Like, we should be downtown.
Oh, man. Seriously. I mean, people, these kids were outside looking into the backyard like, can we please go back? It's like, no, it's closed. But there's people there. Like, oh, my God. No, go.
Oh, man. So that's the next part. When you throw at a party, depending on what your capacity is, hire security. Yeah. Hire a host, front door person, and don't wear Timberlands.
Don't wear Timberlands.
I had Timberlands on all night. Oh, man, that was a terrible idea.
Yeah, it was. Great people make a great party as
Facts.
well, right?
Yeah.
So invite good people, because it's got to be a good little match. I think it has to be diverse. I think that's the best. And I'm not just saying like, okay, even if it's all the same nationality, at least let that nationality be diverse as far as careers, right? So we can't all just work at the credit union, or we can't all be nurses, or if it's diverse, then it makes it a little bit fun, or right?
Well, you gotta put that on. That's a whack ass party. If you just invite people that you work with, you might as well go to work.
But people do that.
Yeah. But don't say it like, oh, this is everybody I work with, and then you bring the one friend from your last job.
That doesn't work. Yeah. And they sit in the corner the whole time, because everybody, I mean, and there's parties like that, right? And then everybody else kind of gets along, and it's like, I don't even know anybody. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, but you're absolutely correct. Yeah, your guest list is everything. Yeah, so definitely bring the cool people. Bring the people that, I mean, it's a party, right? Yeah. So you got to bring people with high energy. You know what I mean? Those parties where people talk about everything, I'll be like, yo, check this out. You could stay home.
What do you mean talk about everything? Like, talk about that.
Yeah, when people criticize everything. Oh, the food was this. Oh, the decorations was this. Oh, we couldn't find parking. Oh, they could have. It's like, all right, this is how you fix that. Take an Uber, which you should be Ubering to every party anyway, especially if they got alcohol. You didn't purchase any of the decorations. And eat before you go to a party. I've learned that. Unless I've been hanging out with these people before and I know what their food is like, I'm going to eat before I go. So I don't have no expectations on whether the food was great or not. You know what I mean?
I'm going to bring the food or something. Like, can I bring the food? I'm like, it's a party. I'm going hungry. But you get there and you're like, damn it.
Yeah, or you be the one to say, hey, should I bring anything? So that's one thing I learned about dinner parties. So right now we're talking about parties of scale. Like when you're talking, over 20 people showing up. But when you go to a dinner party, I never used to bring anything to a dinner party. And Daneyel used to say, oh, we got to go pick up wine, or we got to go pick up this.
Something. You don't go to someone's house empty.
We got to bring some cheese.
Yeah.
I'm like, for what? They invited us. And she's like, no, it don't work like that. You got to bring. Now, tell you how close-minded I am. I'm like, all right, I'll send a text. Hey, you want me to bring some ice or something? You want me to bring something? No, I'm good. Hey, I told you they're good. Daneyel will still bring something.
I
was like, damn. So I've learned that, right, over time. Because 15 years ago, I wasn't bringing nothing. Well, I show up ready to eat, ready to drink.
It was funny. I mean, I was taught a long time ago, and it's not like I was taught from my mom or anything, not to throw under the bus, but just I was taught that you don't show up to someone's house empty-handed, right? And it was just something I learned from just seeing other people, or even hearing other adults talk shit about other adults when they left, right? Like that motherfucker always come and don't bring shit, but an appetite, and they come hungry, and they come wanting something,
So that's like you
hungry
said,
and thirsty.
You don't learn that, right? So I come from a generation of, like, we've never seen that. Like, nobody was like, yo, make sure when you go to a party, you do this. And our parties were typically, my pops used to throw Super Bowl parties. Him and my moms would throw Super Bowl parties and fight parties. So I've seen those parties. And then after that, it was just family members coming over. Like, it wasn't like a a standard, you know, like what we see today. Like every month we was doing a dinner party.
Oh yeah, those were totally different as well, because those dinner parties were really fun. We would theme them as well, but they would just be food themed, right? So it was probably about 5 of us, 5, 6 families even, and we would all pick something to eat. Say it would be a Greek night. We'd all pick a Greek dish and we'd all bring it in and we'd serve it. It was pretty cool.
Yep.
So those were good.
But so don't show up empty-handed, especially for a smaller party. If it's 20 plus, then whoever the host is should lay it down, and they should have all the bells and whistles.
Yes.
Right. Unless they say, hey, you know, bring some ice. But if you know these people, and you know they don't you know, do a very good job, help them out.
Yeah.
Bring a bag of chicken.
Yeah, which leads us to food, right?
Yeah.
Have good food. For me, if like throwing a party, there's like these. This is the checklist straight up, right? I'm like, okay, where is it going to be at? What's the location? What's the theme? Who's all going to come? Food. What food am I going to have? Right? I've gone from one party I did kebabs, right? So it's like, oh, kebabbery. I thought this was going to be the greatest I did, and it was. Don't get me wrong. I did kebab everything. This is for Tommy's surprise birthday party. It was half New York, half LA, if you remember. Yep. And I kebabbed everything. So I did chicken kebabs, I did beef kebabs, I did sausage little link kebabs, I did veggie kebabs, I did fruit kebabs, and then I did little cheese kebabs. I mean, I kebabbed the hell out of stuff. And I mean, I was all night. We was all, me, my brothers and sisters. I always say my brothers and sisters, but it's me and my sisters.
I was about to say, Joseph wasn't there. Shout out to Joe.
Kebabbing everything, kebabbing. But that was the food theme, right? And then one time I did chicken, right? And I would always be like, I can cook. I love to cook, and you know, I cook pretty good. So I'm gonna make different types of chicken: lemon chicken, hot chicken, sweet chicken, like, right? So I did all these trays of chicken. So every time it was something different. But then there was a person who you found that did catering. We're like, oh, she was awesome. Not super expensive. Perfect for our budget. Ever since then, I'm like, all right.
Catered everything.
Catering going on from here on out.
That's a fact. And one thing about that party that you talked about, the New York LA theme, when you throw a party, especially if you're throwing a surprise party, make sure the guests don't show up prior to the surprise.
Oh my.
So it was surprise party was for me. It was my birthday, and literally it was one of my coworkers. I seen him walking. Now this dude has never been to my house. like we cool, like we're like brothers at work. To see him in front of my house, I'm like, why is this dude here?
That was so funny. You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why is he walking past the house? And I was like, ah.
And we lived in a townhouse at the time.
So they had to go through the pool. They had to go through the pool to the pool area right next to us to get to the pool area.
Or they could have went to the back. Yeah.
Could have
went through the parking lot. And immediately I was like, what's going on around here? Why is he here from work? Why is everybody all of a sudden acting funny? Something's happening. And of course, it was a party for me. So definitely make sure if you throw a surprise party, you know, keep it a surprise.
Well, it was a surprise all the way to that day. So that's pretty cool. Like, it did a whole hell of a lot of planning and decorating. And I had to put some paper up against the wall or on the windows in the playroom so you couldn't see inside, because we walked past it every day.
Every day. And I never even noticed that one.
I had a lot of planning for that.
Yeah, you went in on that one. And then one thing with the food, too, because when you order food, you do it at different scale, right? So Daneyel has the appetizers, and you know, she would have, you know, either her mother help out or she's making appetizers, and then we have the food portion, and then we got the after party food.
Oh yeah.
Daneyel will always have after party food, and for those that have hung out with us after the party knows exactly what I'm talking about. All of a sudden, she's pulling barbecue from out of the oven. You got food in the cabinets. You got stuff coming out of the microwave, the refrigerator. It's a whole new dinner.
Listen. In the midst of the party, most of the people that are really down with us are in the shit, as you say, right? So we're entertaining. We're getting ice. We're refilling this. We're doing that. We're cleaning this. We're like, we really don't have time to sit down and have a whole plate. I know I never do. It's always at the end of the night. Once everybody's gone, it's like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and everyone's like, I'm hungry, or was there any more of this left? Or was there. And after so many parties of that, I was like, never again.
Yeah.
Then I'd be like now people look forward to it. Like, I know you got something put away. Like, I do, girl. I'm gonna go get that tray. So I started planning for it, right? So I buy an extra tray of something, more than likely meat of some sort, and I keep that to the side, and that's for my friends afterwards.
the party after the party. So and the reason why you say, because like you said, we don't have time to eat because, well, back then hosting is a lot of energy. So if you're hosting a party, if you're hosting an event, even if it's a small like dinner party, whatever the scale is, it takes a lot of energy. Make sure you got your rest. You know what I mean? And make sure your cleaning process is like, that's the part that we never look forward to. It's like the afterwards.
Oh my gosh.
Highly suggest hiring a housekeeper after a party.
Every time, like, you just have her come in.
Depending on how big you got. Yeah. If it's small and people stick around to help you, no problem. But if you're throwing an extravaganza, you're throwing a full-on event, decorations, the whole 9 yards, definitely have a housekeeper.
Yeah. Like our son, his party, at the end of it, we found at least like maybe 20 to 30 bottles just scattered out around through the house. I'm talking big ass bottles too, not even small bottles. Yeah, big ass bottles. So could you imagine everything else?
And tobacco products everywhere. Jeez,
blood wrappers, y'all.
Yeah,
blood wrappers.
The kids
they
was
was
going
smoking.
But I ain't gonna lie, like no lie. I think the best party to me is, and it's like, if I had to pick one party that we threw, the best one to me was your birthday party. In July is Danielle's birthday. She's a Cancer baby, and it's always Comic-Con in San Diego during that time frame. July is off the chain. So in San Diego, we have Comic-Con. We got opening day at Del Mar races. You got over the line tournament. There's a lot of things happening.
Pride.
The Pride Parade is in July, and Daneyel wanted to throw. It was like. Get involved with Comic-Con and my birthday party at the same time. So we invited, and this was a teams thing again. So we had teams. I think it was like 10 of us, if I'm not mistaken. And we wore green and blue. So everybody that was on my team wore blue. Everybody that was on your team wore green. And we went downtown, and we had a full-on like scavenger hunt. It was a party. We had to go to different bars to get drinks named after Daneyel. Like, it was the whole 9 yards. Like, that was the dope ass party.
I totally forgot all about that party, and that was super fun, and took a whole ton of planning as well for that one. Totally.
So location was everything, because we was in downtown and we was part of Comic-Con, but no decoration, no cleanup, no food after.
It was just the shirts, right? And then afterwards we stopped and had food at a bar. I think I want to do that again. And then they had to spell out Danny with their bodies at different locations. So they had to do like a D and A. That was pretty cool. They had to take a picture of it in the reflection. Yeah, that was sort of. They had to take a picture of a video of someone singing "Happy Birthday" to me, and then they had to take a picture of someone flipping me off.
That was, and it was teams. So it was a scavenger hunt, right?
Yeah.
And you had a list of everything that we had to go out and do. Whoever got everything done was the winners.
Yes.
So that was a pretty dope one. Between that was like number one top.
Well, I say that leads me into just my last thing of the different types of, or the different ways to throw a kick-ass party, and that's entertainment, which is what you're bringing up, right? This is the different entertainment. And for me, it's like a good party has good entertainment, right? I have never been the type of person just from has a party goer. I don't particularly like going to a party and just kind of sitting around. If you invite me to your party, I will come. But you don't have to wow me. Please don't not invite me to your party because you don't have entertainment. I will still come. But entertainment is my jam that I like to provide, because I hate to see people all kind of sitting around and looking bored. And I'm like, hey, and I have 1,000 games in my head that I could play with people.
Because you're a gamer. Like, you're not a video gamer, but you're a gamer.
Yeah. So I'll be like, let's do this. So if I throw a party, then there's going to be some activities involved, and most of the time it's things that people would say, like if they were told that this activity was going to happen before they got there, they probably be like, I'm not into that shit. Like, I ain't going. But then once they're there, they're having the time of their lives, and they don't even understand how they feel like a kid again. So
very true, very true. So once you're in the shit, then that's when it goes. You don't have to tell people like, oh, we're gonna do board games, we're gonna do this. Don't give them the itinerary. Just fucking wow them.
Yep, just come.
Yeah, just come through, have a good time, and before you know it, it's gonna be just don't play like Trivia Pursuit.
Yeah. I like Trivia Pursuit.
I'm not smart enough for Trivia Pursuit.
Just got know a little bit about a lot of things.
A lot of shit, yeah. It's a lot of unnecessary information there.
Some entertainment that we've had was belly dancers. We've had magicians. We have had for a green party that we had for myself.
Character.
We had a character, which is the people who, it's a fancy word for someone drawing you looking funny. Let's see.
The girl that blew fire.
Yep. Yeah. So those are just some small things. Other things that I suggest that you should have is people to help you with the entertainment or with the people, right? So the crowd control. So generally at our parties, I like to have a host. I'm the hostess, of course, with the mostest, but I like to have someone helping me, right? So I love to have someone telling people where the bathroom is. Questions that I get all night, I task somebody with. Where's the restroom? Where's the food? What time the entertainment's starting? Stuff like that. I task somebody with, and I'm like, hey, and of course the giving of the shots. So I'm like, hey, when someone walks in this door, they need to know all these things before they enter the house. Like I don't want to answer wait, where's the bathroom at? Because that's a question you get all the time, right? So those are the things that we do. Some of the biggest parties that we've thrown are Tommy's 30th and 40th, right?
1000%.
The surprise party for you. Surprise party for me, Dave and Buster's.
Oh, that was off the chain.
The green party for me.
All of our parties downtown. Those are different because that was more work, and we tied those to charity events and for everybody
party for a cause.
Yeah, everybody that partied with us during that time frame of our lives, participated in us giving back to, one of those organizations. So all of those were pretty cool.
So hosting the party is amazing. It's fun. Make sure you have these steps in process if you do them. If not, just invite some people over, have a kick-ass time, and enjoy yourself.
Hell yeah. Work hard and party hard.
That's right.
That's it.
I love you.
Love you.
Tommy and Daneyel.
Do us a favor. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. Leave a review. Let us know what your thoughts are. That's the only way that this show is going to be successful. And we appreciate you. Talk with you next time.